I attended Mr. Delaney's funeral, and a ghost appeared. A son we all thought dead in Africa.
James Keziah Delaney.
Dear Lord Almighty, is that your brother?
Your father was poisoned. I would say heavy doses over a short period.
One thing Africa did not cure is that I still love you.
Now he has returned, and Delaney's will leaves him everything, including Nootka.
Britain and the United States are currently at war. Sell this land for a reasonable price.
Nook Sound is not for sale.
I can give you whatever you like. Boys, girls.
You have 2 hours to get out. I know things about the dead.
I'd hoped to settle this matter in a modern way, but that's not going to be possible. It's all yours.
This Nootka Sound is a curse. It will bring the Kingdom Empire down upon your head.
Pick it up. So, you've no problem with the principle of obeying me, just the execution.
Execution?
Of Delaney. I told you to take care of it.
It is taking a little longer than I anticipated.
If you open up that ball of paper, you'll see notice of your dismissal from the East India, dated 2 days hence. Only Delaney's death will render it obsolete.
This is going to bring the house down around it. Damn thing. Begging pardon. So what's this for? To keep things safe. What things? Embrace. Go to hell. You marched with Tremaine, now you can march with me. March where? For what bloody purpose? For the purpose of staying alive right now. You may choose to leave my services if you wish, Mr. Brace. What is it about you bloody mad Delaneys? Hang it in the meat locker. Just keep the powder under steam. Bloody madhouse again. While we're on the subject of housekeeping, I mean to have a word with you about food. You're hungry? No. Toward the end, you said my father rarely ate. Aye, he lived on air and honey beer. From where? From a man in Feather Lane.
Look, it was cheaper than the tavern, and your father only gave me coppers.
What man?
A man who's since died, and his wife since left. Why do you ask?
Because I am more generous than my father. Now on we drink beer only from bottles and wine from flasks. That's all. Go.
Gentlemen, Jardine, Matheson and Company would like to commence this candle auction with a published list of 12 items for sale. Each item on the list will be auctioned for the length of time it takes for its allotted candle. Burn down 1 inch. When the inch is burnt, last bid will win. First item on the list, a merchantman brig, commandeered from the Spanish fleet by Captain Reeves this last 12 months and 1. Currently, the brig is named Feliz Adventurero. Who will start the bidding? 610. 620. 630. 640. 650. 660. Do I have 670? 680. 690. 700.
£800.
Lisa Venturero sold. £800 to
The Delaney Nootka Trading Company.
I spoke to O'Grady afterwards. He said Delaney told him he was going to use the ship for trade.
With whom?
He said his company was called Delaney Nootka Trading. He is planning to reopen up the trading post to assert his ownership. That fucking man will hang for treason. Sir, I already have a strategy in my head. Sir.
Why? Why wouldn't he even look at our offer? Why would he defy logic and the king?
I believe he is simply trying to raise the price.
Why did he know so much about the border negotiations? How did he know they were taking place in Ghent? The location is a state secret. And where did he get the money to buy a ship? Jesus Christ. Am I the only one in this company with a brain? They got to him first. Either in Africa or on the journey back to London. One of their agents approached him, briefed him, gave him money, and secured his services.
Who did, sir?
The fucking Americans!
Atticus!
James Delaney. Well, look at you. Sit down.
Give me back my horse.
What's the biggest thing you saw? For my files. My book about the world. What's the biggest thing you saw in Africa?
An elephant.
How tall was it?
Atticus, give me my horse back.
100-foot high, some of them I've heard.
Atticus, you stole my horse and you left your name. So, what do you want?
As you may recall, I'm gonna write a book one day about all I know about the world.
I don't care.
I've been to most places, but not the devil's backyard where you went. What's the biggest thing you saw and the smallest? And also the money your father owed me.
See, there it is. Nothing changes.
Are you more comfortable with business than with learning, James? £20 is what I'm owed. I know you're gold and you just bought a ship, so pay up.
For what?
Well, you know when someone wants a man killed, they come to Dolphin.
But still?
My directory of knowledge covers every fucking thing from cradle to grave. Birth, love, death, all goes into the river of my book. When someone wants a man killed, they come to Atticus. Well, about a year ago, a gentleman comes in, sat right there where you are now. Says, how about old Lawrence Delaney? The mad bastard lighting fires by the river. Say he falls in, current takes him. How about that? So I says to the gentleman, I sailed with old Doris all around the world. See? So I said, you go or I'll slit your gizzard and drop you in the current you're playing with Captain Delaney.
And who was this gentleman?
What was the smallest thing you saw?
Human kindness. An ant. What's your company, man?
I'd say it wasn't East India. More from up Leadenhall. I could tell by the cut of his jib. So how much would you give me for not killing your father?
Nothing. He's dead.
Well, £15.
£15.
And the return of your ropes.
I will give you £15, minus the heels on my boots. And I will need your eyes and ears from now on as well.
Yeah, well, the enemy's yours staring up, James. You'll be needing them, my boy.
How is he this morning?
Toe and arse this morning, sir.
Oh, God. I know about his toe. What happened to his arse?
One can only imagine. Solomon Coop, Your Highness.
How is your toe this morning?
My toe is the first item of business. You evidently don't read the papers.
Oh, you mean the blockade?
Fuck them.
The red crosses are the positions of the American ships. They are attempting to blockade our trading routes to the west. And the blue crosses are the Royal Navy ships preparing to engage.
Why did you make the Americans red? You make them red. It's us who should be red. We wear red.
The Admiralty drew up the map. They say that the Irish are supplying the blockade with tack and pork. But they will soon run short of powder.
Get the Admiralty to draw the map again and make the British red and the Americans green or something, since they are so new.
But of course, Your Highness.
I had a dream last night. I was lying in the North Sea. My body was England, I was an island. Coop, pay attention. All these shrimps, like devils, with little bows and arrows, were surrounding me, firing into my flesh.
You really must try and drink more from the green bottle and less from the pink.
It wasn't just a dream. It was a premonition. The shrimps were the American ships. Hear me, Coop. I am lying in the ocean like a whale, and no one in my privy council will raise a musket barrel. They sail this close to me nose. A gang of classless rebels, and you show me red crosses.
Your Highness, they will run out of powder.
And I've run out of fucking patience. Tell the Admiralty, although the gossips say that all Prinny wants is flowers and waltzes, in truth, Prinny also demands the American ships be sunk, the survivors hanged, the bodies of the drowned nailed to the church walls of Ireland to stop their rebels making common cause.
You want me to write this down?
Yes! The fuck is this?
Oh, it's from the East India.
Fuck them as well.
I intend to.
Who are you?
Winter.
Miss Winter.
No, just Winter.
Just Winter.
I live with a horse, but I'm a virgin.
Why are you following me?
To save your life. Mistress Helga gave information to a man with a silver tooth. I spy on her. From the conversation, he meant to do you harm. And the mistress knew it. She wants you dead so she can have her rooms back.
How old are you?
13.
Why would she keep you and not rent you?
Too ugly? She says one day I'll catch a man and he'll carry me away. Someone like you. I spied you too.
Tell me about this man with the silver tooth. Winter.
I can show you where he's moored if you want.
He sleeps on this ship alone.
He takes a particular girl aboard and does mean things. But there's no one else.
Are you tricking me?
No. They say he was in Africa. What is it like? Is everybody naked? I want to go to America. Promise to take me to America one day.
New York or Boston?
The current here heads for Gravesend.
You know navigation.
Yes. As larks all want to be sailors. That's his sloop.
Right.
Why do you even believe I'm telling the truth?
Because?
What are you gonna do?
Well, I shall ask him why he's been sent to kill me. And by who? Stay.
The very same smell.
Same smell as what?
As your father's clothes when he would go dancing on the foreshore and light his fires.
Race, where did my father keep his most important things?
What is it you're looking for?
Nootka Sound Treaty. It may be written on deerskin.
So what you're saying is, Brace, do you have any idea where I can find my own death warrant?
I may need to prove to a tribunal that the land was acquired by treaty and not by conquest.
Tribunal?
Yeah. Or the Crown may try to seize it, claim it as a spoil of war.
Sir, I have seen no deerskin treaty, nor have I seen fairies or water sprites. But what I do have are Malay coins, enough to bury you. Prayer beads, no enough to get you to heaven. And hashish, enough to ease my grieving when the East India Company slit your throat. Which of course they will.
Meshasie Fifi Ewaha.
Namaya iduma happy flat.
You have appointments today. Breakfast will be out in half an hour. And you can contrive to stay alive that long.
Thank you. That was turning out to be a long, drawn-out process. I benefit from a period of reflection.
You have a girl here called Winter.
You can have any girl you want. I do not have a girl of that name.
No? A mulatto?
I would kill for a mulatto. Danish pay double.
I met her.
People are saying you're mad.
I am.
I like to see what lies beneath. You have goodness in you.
What goodness?
You do. You have goodness in you. I can see it in your eyes. And you have the same eyes as her. Winter. She's your daughter, isn't she? And that's why you don't rent her. Am I wrong? I would rather that you worked with me rather than against me.
Work at what?
Necessary evil. And whorehouses are full of secrets, and secrets to me are weapons.
I would very much like to talk business. But I would like you inside of me, Mr. Delaney. It's my first condition.
I need to know where Mr. Silvertooth is hiding. Your new friend. Do you know him?
I will ask after the Malay.
The Malay? Thank you for your help.
Mr. Delaney. Police Adventurero, it's all yours now, sir. Thank you.
Holy Christ, where the hell have you been? I made a fire in your room for the mice.
In Parliament today, they'll be debating the beating of servants. The Whigs want to protect you. I believe that would lead to anarchy.
You not ever hungry?
I ate in the whole house.
To qualify as food, it needs to be solid. I made some coffee. It'll be stone cold.
Aren't we all?
Where the hell are you going now?
Someone has been brought to London to try and kill me. I'm going to speak to them and ask them why. Clean it. I'm looking for Dr. Dunbar.
Follow the smell inside.
I'm off duty.
I have a wound in my left shoulder.
A bullet wound?
A splinter. From the mast of a ship called the Yankee Prize. That was struck by a Yankee ball.
So I should call you comrade?
We shall see.
How God makes his colors, I know not, but I'm pursuing him through his chemicals.
They said you were a doctor.
Sheep is a sheep, but also meat and wool. This is my pastime, fixing colors and cloth. The demand for flags is always high in times of war.
So you are three things, yeah? You are a doctor, you are a merchant, and you are a spy.
Unless you tell me who sent you, I will have to ask you to leave at the point of a gun.
A man who called himself Colonnade.
Not yet in hell.
No Ponta Delgado in the Azores. Similar.
You should know the wound in the shoulder is no longer used by us as a signal.
No?
No, we change the codes when we think that perhaps the scum British have overtaken it.
Yet you do not trust the name Colonnade.
What do you want?
I want a line of conference with the President of the 15 States of America. My name is James Delaney.
That name means nothing.
But it will to the President and his representatives who are traveling to the negotiations in Ghent. The border between the United States and Canada is being drawn up in a very quiet, closed room. No? You see, I have something of great value to your nation. Something the British are trying to kill me for.
And what? You seek protection?
I have demands.
Demand?
You tell Carlsbad my name.
And who's Carlsbad?
Carlsbad is the head of the American Society of Secret Correspondence in London. I know that name because Colonnade told me it. He was drunk. He was trying to push his jelly up a hole. Carlsbad will know my name and know my business.
I'm afraid you've used the wrong words. Get out.
Do you treat sickness of the mind, Doctor?
Just keep walking. You're mad to have even come here. We are an angry nation.
Yeah. I'm counting on it. Good day.
Post for you, madam.
I intend to begin by reading your father's last will and testament, and then I shall try to reason with his creditors. Have you decided yet what you will do with Nootka?
Yes, I will use it for trade.
With who? Are there any savages at Nootka?
And I will trade with them.
I hear you bought a ship.
I did. Then I discovered that it was formerly used for carrying slaves. I checked the vessel's log, and before it was taken by the Spanish, it was once owned by the Honorable East India Company. The shackles were all cast in London.
The East India don't deal slaves.
No, they don't. But they do run cloth and trade beads to Tangier through the Scarf family. And then slaves to Trinidad. From Bunce Island, through Spanish privateers. But one with such close connections, I am surprised that you don't know.
And what connections are they?
Mr. Thoyd, you have been my father's lawyer for the past 40 years. And in all that time, you reported every detail of his most intimate business to his enemies at the East India Company. You are their whore. The same as almost everyone else in this city, apart from those who are actually labeled whore.
James. When you left London, the East India was a trading company. Now it is God Almighty. The Prince Regent fears it. No governor in the world dares stand up to it. It owns the land, the ocean, the fucking sky above our heads. It has more men and weapons and ships than all the Christian nations combined. You think all who submit are evil? No. We are submitting to the way the world has become. All the good men in London who fight them are washed up at Tilbury. They could hold a congress.
Or perhaps they could simply board a ship and sail to Boston, where the company dare not go.
So, you're gonna add treason to the list. The king and company after your head. It's all rabble. Pitchmakers, carpenters. Your father didn't many build for 4 years. They feel deeply aggrieved and talk of seizures. I'm not being at all fanciful when I ask if you are armed.
I am armed.
Gentlemen, you all hear subsequent to written notice of Horace Delaney's death. I'll deal first with the beneficiaries and then with the divisions. Straight after. I said, straight after!
Not gonna get on with it. You've waited long enough.
Mr. Delaney died a widower. He is survived by 2 children, both present at this division. Of his daughter, Zilpha Annabel Delaney, now Zilpha Annabel Geary, there is no mention in this last will and testament. To his son, James Keziah Delaney, is left the only existing assets of the Delaney estate, including the Nootka trading post and landing ground on the Pacific Northwest coast of the Americas in what was formerly Spanish America.
Whatever you have, you will sell it to me!
Order for me to continue!
We can leave now.
No. We will haunt this nigger to justice.
He's already haunted. Come.
Be sure of this, Delaney. That legacy is your death sentence.
Out of my way! I must have order in order to continue! I dug new foundations for that old bastard, and I never got a penny.
The son does not inherit the debts of the father. James Delaney has declared a new trading company in his own name.
My father's debts amounted to a sum total of £215 and 17 shillings. Behold, £215 and 17 shillings. Mr. Thorpe will pay each one of you exactly what you are due, but you will form an orderly line. You will form an orderly line.
Didn't expect that. If he's a better man than his father. At least he's on his father's debts.
What I'm owed isn't in that pile of coins. Since I'm not listed on the final division notice.
You see? The old skinflint didn't even pay for his horse.
And what exactly is it that my father owed you?
He owed me a lifetime of care. A lifetime of devotion. He owed me kisses and love. He owed me a home and a fire and perhaps children someday. In short, he owed me all that is due from a husband to a wife. My name is Lorna Delaney, formerly Lorna Bow. And 2 years ago in Dublin, Horace Delaney and I were married. And I have proof that I am his widow.
I'll have my clerks divide up the silver. Madam, come to my office.
Calm, pretty, certain, fragrant. Calm, pretty, certain, fragrant.
This is an Irish document. May take a little time to validate.
Oh, I can wait.
But Mr. Delaney's son knew nothing of any marriage.
How would he? He was in Africa. But he often spoke of you. He was very, very proud.
Why Dublin?
Well, he was on business.
Yes, but your business is here, isn't it? You're an actress who appeared on stage at the Theatre Royal in Covent Garden. In a play called The Painted Savage, I found a program with an illustration and an empty drawer.
Well, if my likeness was in there, the drawer wasn't empty.
If the paperwork from Dublin is validated, Miss Bow will have a legal claim against his estate as widow.
Mrs. Delaney is my name. Beau's the name that I use for the stage.
Are you a good actress?
Your father thought so.
And was that before or after he lost his mind?
Well, love is a kind of madness, isn't it, Mr. Thorpe? Or have you never experienced it?
My father was a very sick and old man. And do you have proof of consummation?
I have letters. Many letters professing his feelings for me. The line for memory is, "Oh, Lorna, it is in a moment that I would leave this cursed house by the river and go to the Americas with you, and live there, naked and savage, and yet we would have each other and be together." That kind of thing.
Do you possess any other documents of his?
I have letters.
Other than letters?
What kind of documents?
Well, proof will come from pen and ink. I will dispatch an inquiry to the Trinity Church in Dublin and request a personal account from the priest. Until then, I suggest you two refrain from any further contact with each other.
Well, I have no love for the theatre.
And I spend very little time in German brothels.
Was he in there? The man, did you see him in the room?
Yeah. The gentleman who came to the golf was indeed in the room. He was the one who declared your legacy a death sentence. You want him to fall in the river, James?
No, the river will take him of its own accord.
Yeah.
Zoid, sit down. So, gentlemen, tell us of this widow. Can none of you read? Or are you all too busy trying to catch my eye and only pretending to read the agenda before stretching your necks again? You, what's your name?
Godfrey, sir.
Well, Godfrey, read aloud item 9 on the agenda list of 10.
During the final division of the estate of Horace Delaney, there appeared an actress.
An actress who claimed to be the widow.
A dispatch arrived from Dublin. The marriage is confirmed and is legal.
What is the significance of this, Mr. Godfrey? It's not written down. You have to work it out. Gosh. Pettiford.
The girl is an opportunity.
Right. Tell them the possibilities of this opportunity.
She would have a claim against James Delaney for a shared ownership of Nootka.
Bravo! A whore actress to the rescue of the mighty East.
It is not a foregone conclusion. She would need to file suit.
Oh, Mr. Thoit. This widow will have sole claim on Nootka in the event of James Delaney's death. An event which may be imminent.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to London violin virtuoso Nicola Mori. Tonight, composer Ludwig van Beethoven's Sixth Symphony.
James, please don't.
What? I missed you. I couldn't bear to see you alone.
Do you know, this is so old, I could even laugh at you.
And yet you came outside to see me.
Because otherwise you would have come to me and made very loud declarations.
I would, yes. Is it my loudness that troubles you?
In the forest, no. In the jungle, no.
You used to straighten your skirts and march away like nothing had ever happened.
Who marched away? And thank God you did.
God.
This is very simple, James. Take away a little ancient history. You live in the East, I live in the West. There are no practical difficulties.
Apart from that great big river, that connects us.
Did you really eat flesh?
Why don't you tell your friends that you're sick and you can come and hear everything?
I would laugh at you, but you're not well. And I can't stand to have you this close to
Well,
me.
that is a shame, isn't it? Because I will always be this close to you. Won't I?